Yo everyone, welcome back to a brand new video, and this is episode 27 of my Minecraft Forever World. A couple weeks ago, I created a Gmail account where you can submit stories for me to read out here on the YouTube channel on a few conditions. One, that your name would be anonymized, and so is every other character in the story that you submit. And two, it couldn't be anything that would get me questioned by the FBI of any involvement or why I didn't choose to report it. I finally got a story and I'm gonna read it out to you guys here. Before I do, I guess I have to explain what I'm doing here in this mountain range. Essentially, lately there's been heavy snowstorms and the entire city is covered in snow. So is most of Canada. If you don't know, I'm Canadian. And I thought it would be great. It kind of inspired me to build a log cabin here in the woods. I absolutely love building wooden log cabins. They're just so easy to make and I'm genuinely just good at it. That's the one thing I can build consistently. And it's an easy build. It'll not distract from the story too much. And yeah, that's not gonna be the main focus of this video. But this is gonna be a segment of it. So I'd like to mention, if you want to submit your very own story, keep in mind the rules as I listed them earlier, and you can send them on the email that's linked on screen right now. This looks like a great spot to build. I don't know if it's in the middle. Actually, it's not. So here's the story. I'll call myself me, my best friend is B, and his girlfriend is C. B and I had been best friends for years, like real best friends. The kind where you don't think twice about trust. He'd been at my place hundreds of times, and C, she'd been around long enough that she felt normal to have around too. There were never any red flags, no weird history, nothing that would have prepared me for this. One night, all three of us are hanging out at my place, just a normal night, talking, joking, watching stuff, no party, just killing time. At some point though, the energy shifts. It was subtle at first. B and C started sitting a little closer than they were before, whispering a bit, laughing at things that weren't really that funny. I notice it, but I brush it off because that's my best friend. I'm not trying to assume anything. Then, the room gets quieter. The show is still on, but no one's really watching it anymore. I'm sitting there and I start to feel like I'm not really part of the room the same way I was earlier. Like, physically I'm there, but mentally I'm just pushed aside. Then they start touching. Not aggressively at first, just enough to make it uncomfortable. And I remember thinking, okay, this is kind of awkward, but surely this is where it stops. It doesn't. They don't look at me, they don't acknowledge me, they just keep pushing the boundary slowly, like they're waiting for me to say something. And I don't. Not because I was okay with it, but because I was in shock. My brain is trying to catch up to what was happening in real time. I kept thinking, there's no way this is actually happening, right? Eventually, it crosses the line completely. Slowly, they start taking off their clothes and they have sex. In my room, in my bed, while I'm sitting right there, fully awake. I didn't yell, I didn't storm out, I didn't even move. I just sat there, frozen. I wasn't even turned on, not even curious, just feeling numb. The part that still messes with me the most is how normal they acted about it. Like this was fine, like my presence didn't really matter, like my space, my comfort, my feelings just weren't a factor at all. No one asked if I was okay, no one checked in, and they didn't even stop. Afterward, the room felt different. My bed didn't feel like mine anymore, my space didn't even feel like my safe space. It felt like something had been taken from me, even though I was sitting right there. That's when I finally decided to say something. The excuses came immediately. It just happened. We thought you were fine with it. You didn't say anything. Yeah, I didn't say anything because I was in shock, because I trusted them, because I never imagined my best friend would put me in a position where I'd even have to say something like that. People ask me why I didn't stop it, why I didn't leave, why I didn't react the right way. It felt like there was no right way to react when the people you trust the most show you in real time how they don't really respect you. That was the moment I realized B wasn't my friend and C wasn't someone I should have trusted. Because if you could do something like that in front of someone in their own space, you're not confused, you're just selfish. Afterwards, after they left, I cut them off completely. No confrontation, no talk, no closure, just done. Am I in the wrong for this? Wow. That was tough to read, and especially to read out loud too. My neighbors must be curious as to what the hell I'm talking about. But to say if you're in the wrong, I would say no. I would say you acted um, in a way that benefits you and how you feel was right, and that's fine. 100%. That's just. That's fair. It's your life. It's not theirs. It's not mine. It's yours. Personally, I would have. Because I'm a little nosy. I would have asked for a reason why, and I would have been like, "What was the reason? Why my bed specifically? Why here? Why now? Was it just, if there was substance involved, which you didn't really mention, so I don't know if you just left that out on accident or on purpose, or if there was nothing going on, just pure like a shindig. Then that's a little fucked up. No, that was a great story. I thank you for emailing me. I would, if you have any updates in the future, do let me know. I'd be very appreciative of that. I thank you. And what I would have done, yeah, like I said, I would have asked questions. I would have been like, listen, why here? Why with me watching? Why, here in this context? Or just why in general? Because I like to get to the bottom of things. I don't like unanswered questions. It keeps me up at night, and I don't, doesn't sit right with me. At the end of the day, if I have questions that are unanswered, like major questions that are left unanswered, it'll keep me up at night. So, but you acted how you felt was right, and nobody can ever fault you for that, ever. But that's my advice. I would have at least asked for some closure. You specified that you didn't want any closure. So that's you, honestly, and that's the right way, because it's the way that you feel comfortable with doing, and can't really fault you for that. Thank you for the story, though. I really do appreciate it. I've kind of pushed everything back by one block, at least at the bottom level. I'm gonna smelt this coal. Do I still have any leftover coal? Okay. To make this bed a little bit more royal. Alright, so that's the house. I just need to know how to build a campfire. Just go in this hole right here and place 2 campfires. Alright, cool. So besides the Nazi invasion happening outside my house, this house is pretty much complete. So yeah, I don't know. I like it. It's cool. It's cute. I'm not much of an interior designer, but yeah, I'm pretty impressed with myself on this. So I'm back home now, and I've decided I want to kind of map out a bit of this little village here with some wool. I have a sheep farm going, but I'd like to map out the town square before I map out like important buildings. That's what we're gonna do. Well, that's what I'm gonna do. So I kind of want town square to just be right here, and then I'll go 1, 2, 3, 9. Okay, so this is gonna be like a giant circle, and I don't know if I should put like a water, like, what is it, a well, or like a bell of some sorts. That way I can have like villagers living here. I think I should just have villagers living here. That's gonna be where the town square is. Here I would like to have right off the main square here, I'd like to have a baker, and just somewhere where like you can buy like cakes or bread, and nearby I want to have just like main commerces. I plan on having like a little market area, like a bazaar of some sorts, with like settlements here. So I'll just like put some blocks here. On this side I want to have a butcher, so I'm going to have, you come in here and there's just like hanging meat or stuff like that. You just order from the fine gentleman. Then I don't know what to have here. Like maybe just like a church. I guess a church on a lakeside would kind of make sense. I guess we'll see. I guess I'll plan this out. Okay, so it's been about 2 hours or so, and I've finished like outlining the entire village here. So this is what the town center is gonna look like. It's made of dirt, and it is. Well, this is just where the businesses will be and stuff like that. I plan on having just all sorts of housing all across here, and just coming up on this mountain too. Forget about this giant tower. Have some. This is gonna be where the clock tower is. As you see, I've already labeled it with scaffolding, and maybe have some housing here too. All sorts of houses. And then having another giant tower here. I might use this. I'm not sure what I might do with this. Probably leave as is as like a random shack, or better yet, I might just like build a wizard tower around it. Who knows? I'm gonna fill this in eventually. It's gonna look nice. Maybe have some more housing along this forest line here. And I'm out of render distance because I'm free camming this. Have like a little bridge going in, and having houses indoors. Nothing too special. It all starts right here at the port. So here, big or small ships are gonna come. On this side, on this side right here is gonna be a giant crane to load all the merchandise from the plane to off here, and there's a whole bunch of room to just put some merchandise right here. And then it can be dragged right here to the entrance of the port, where you have to go through customs, where goods have to be taxed before entering the village or leaving towards the open water, where you could go right here. There's a big ocean right over here. As you can see, it leads out to a big ocean. And here, I'm not sure where it leads out to, but here you could boat. This is for smaller boats, but you could boat all the way out by the river, and probably have some farms along that. And yeah, so realistic town here along the river, a settlement just like in the old days, the medieval times. This is just the label where the port is. Nothing too fancy so far. I'm probably gonna make it like a few layers up, and then have this a few layers up, so that there's enough room for big boats to kind of, if there's a big boat that comes on, then you can easily just come. So it's not gonna be raised by too much. Here along, right next to the port, there's the church. I made sure to make it a big open entrance, and it being longer instead of it being wider, because you want to have the podium right here with a giant I don't know what to call it, like a giant window with like a cross and like a depiction of Jesus or something. Here I've said this before, this was the baker's. Here is the fisherman's hut, I guess, where he can come out here and just fish along the coast right here, if he chooses so, and then come to the market to sell his fish, sell his produce. This is mostly just where he lives. I wouldn't say this is where he works. I might make a little market here. So I left this intentionally open and vacant in case I wanted to make like some sort of market here. This will take a few months. Here's the tailor in case you want to buy some new suits. I already have my suit. This is the tavern. It's intentionally big because I plan on having an open bar space here with seating, have the actual bar here, and then here have stairs to go up to like some temporary shelter if you're too drunk to go home, or if you just need a place to crash for the night. You can always go up and sleep there for the night. It's not a hotel. It's not an inn. I have an inn right here. Wow, I'm surprised that rendered so perfectly clear. Here's the butcher, as I've shown last time. Again, there's going to be a table with produce here and poultry and stuff like that, and beef. Here's a town hall. Again, it's similar to how the church is in design. There's going to be a grand speaking podium right here, so you can address the people if you're running for mayor, if you're running for president, etc. This will be where you preachy word. Here's the candle maker, because there's no technology back in the day. You can't just flick a light switch and have electricity running. People rely on candles, therefore it is a valuable business to be a candle maker. Especially in the town hall, people are going to be coming in. They might want a candle for their home to warm themselves up or give themselves some light. So here, you come here, you get your candle, and you get the hell out. There's the inn. This is more like a hotel, if you don't know what an inn is. I don't even think I know what an inn is. An inn, you get to sleep here. This is more for long-term stays, comparatively to the tavern, where it's just for the night. It's not to be stayed in through more than one night. Here's the blacksmith, because we need these in medieval times. Nothing much more than that. I might just copy over the design from the villager, where he has an open workspace with a place inside to kind of store some materials or just stuff. It's gonna be the police station, and here is the holding cell. I don't have a prison. I don't plan on having prisons. If you commit a serious infraction, you are immediately set for execution. That's not true. And this will be the clock tower. This is the plan for where I want it to be and how high I want it to be. So it's pretty high up there. I don't know exactly how high, but it is higher than where the TNT duper is. And yeah, if I go up there, and I've made a few modifications. I've removed the villager breeder, the villager farm, wheat farm up there. It just wasn't working. I don't know why the villager wasn't dropping wheat to another villager. There was nothing being dropped. It wasn't farming. It wasn't dropping food. It wasn't doing much. So I said, you know what? I'll just throw some junk in here, and whatever gets composted will get composted. Whatever I need compost, whenever, you know, I have some extra junk laying around, I could just come here and put it in. So that's the central part of town. And I'm gonna build one building today. I'm gonna focus on that. I don't know what to do. There's so much to do. I guess I'll do the port, just to get it out of the way. That's the big project. I still need to collect the materials for the tower here. So enjoy the time lapse of me building this port. Alright, so it is several hours later, and I've finished building some part of the port here. If you come up these stairs right here, as you see, big ships come here. I might just break this down just so there's space for cargo and people to come up, like right here. And then for the smaller ships, you can just dock your boat right here and then just get off and go to the village. I do have to build customs upstairs right here, like I said I would. So here's where customs is gonna be, in this little area right here. Let me check to see. Okay, yeah. So here's gonna be a building where you get taxed on your goods, or taxed before you leave. And that's what it looks like so far. It's not too bad. I guess I have to add detail to it, but for tonight I'm kind of done, so I'll do that another day. But yeah, I actually like how this turned out with the wood and whatnot, and with the detail. I decided to add some andesite, some stone bricks, and if I go swimming, I use some spare mossy stone bricks to finish up. I just used World Edit and then Light Matica to kind of scatter out some mossy stone brick. That's how it looks like, and I don't know what kind of details I want to add. I want to add some barrels. I want to add some junk. I want to add some, not some cargo ships, but just like some barrels full of stuff. Not necessarily full of stuff, but just merchandise in general. Stuff from the times, you know. And maybe some teapots. I don't know, I could use like composting. Where is it? I could use like a composter block and fill it up with compost to make it look like it's tea. I like it. It looks great. Alright, and to round out this episode, I figured I'd make a temporary lava farm. If you don't know how this works, basically I'll show you exactly how this works. You basically plant lava buckets, right? And then they fall. So, hold on, this is all a temporary setup. I plan on having the permanent lava farm in the blacksmith, but for the time being, I'm gonna place it right here. You're gonna want a block that's non-flammable, that is crucial, non-flammable, right? And then right directly under that block, you're gonna place dripstone, and then directly below that, or some way below, you're gonna place cauldrons. Now it could be any amount of cauldrons, it could be whatever, right? And then I'm gonna build up, and I'm gonna place some blocks here. There we go. So then you're gonna want to cover up, make sure you don't burn yourself. And then as you can see, there's lava dripping from this, and slowly over time it'll fill up with lava. Now I have this temporary station right here just to get me some lava, and because I will use it for decoration in the blacksmith especially, and in case I ever need lava for whatever, or if I want to set up a smelter with only lava blocks, or lava buckets, sorry, then I may do so. That'll be the end of this episode. I really do appreciate all the support you guys have been giving me, and I really hope this video does better, and I appreciate each and every one of you who decides to subscribe, like the video, or even comment down below. It means the absolute world to me. It's completely free to you. If you could make sure that you're subscribed, I would greatly appreciate that. It is completely free to you, and you can always unsubscribe later if you change your mind, and leaving a like is completely free. It tells me that you guys enjoy this video, and yeah, let me know in the comments what you had for lunch today, and I'll see you guys in the next video. I love you guys. Peace. Mwah.